Carl, have you had people ask you about the Seahawks game this week?
I've just been ignoring everybody right now.
What's your response? Oh, you're not even responding?
It was a fucking ugly game. What is there to say? It was tough to watch. It was a tough to watch game.
So I saw something on Instagram yesterday, and it articulates exactly how I feel and exactly what I want to say to everyone who asks me a question. So they'll be like, what do you think of the Seahawks defense? And my response is,
where did you hear that?
Fucking tell me.
Who taught you?
Fucking tell me. Are you
that's my response.
That's a pretty good response.
So this is a video of this dude who brought his daughter, who's 2 years old, to play golf with his buddies on the weekend because his wife was doing something and he was on babysitting duty. And so on the way home, his daughter in the back seat is just going, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like this.
Who taught you?
fucking tell me. Are you fucking killing me?
Where did you hear that?
Fucking tell me.
Who taught you?
Fucking tell me.
That's from the guys shanking shots, probably, eh?
Yeah, and that's how I feel about the Seahawks game this week. Like, I don't want to talk about it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not interested in sharing my thoughts, although we have a podcast, so we have to. It was ugly. Every single aspect of the game was ugly. From the first kick, man, I don't know about you watching the game. I just felt awkward the whole game. The whole game. From the first kickoff. We kicked off. Guy caught it 8 yards deep in the end zone, ran it out, and I was like, oh, this is a disaster. You tackled it at 12. What are you doing? And he ran it back 60 yards. And you watch the replay, and there's 3 dudes that just missed their assignments. They're just out of their lane. And from then on, it was just a really ugly all-around effort. Like, no one played good. It was so strange, man.
All the guys were missing all their assignments. Like, look at the numbers, total yards. Both, like, Seattle had 419, Bills 420. Rushing yards, Seahawks had more. Yards per play, the Seahawks had 0.1 more. But the difference is missed plays, missed coverages, just plays that go completely sideways, you know? The offense is the same, but guys are just missing stuff, and it's leading to more scores.
It was the ugliest game I've seen in a very long time, like all around from the Seahawks. And I think there was one stat that really made the difference in the game. And if this stat was slightly different, we would have had a chance to win, even though we gave up 44 points. It's 4 turnovers, man. 4 turnovers to 0, right? Russ threw 2 picks that were not good throws. And Russ got a sack fumble, and then there was one other fumble. Like, it was a really, really sloppy game all the way around. I don't think this is going to be a very long podcast because I don't have a lot to say about this, but like there were some dudes out there that I thought like need to be cut immediately. One of them, and I'm going to challenge him. Yeah, please.
Quinton Dunbar.
Yeah, what the fuck is that guy up to, man? It was embarrassing. He was awful. It's like he wasn't even trying. Like there was some routes that the receivers ran that were mediocre routes, and he just got turned around and like gave up.
His footwork was off. His pacing was completely awful, terrible. We had 7 sacks this game too, which is really good for us. But I just think our secondary completely let us down.
How many times did that guy throw the ball?
Oh, that is a fantastic question.
There is no way he only threw the ball 38 times. Are you seeing it? I'm looking at ESPN. He says 31 for 38. He threw the ball 40 times in the first quarter. What the hell are they talking about? That can't be right.
That's all he did.
That can't be right. I feel like in the first half, they ran the ball like 3 times and threw it 35.
None of the guys have many carries at all.
It says they ran the ball 19 times. I don't know if that 38 stat is right. In the
7.
second half, it was very heavily favored Seattle, though, in terms of like offensive possession. I don't know. That seems low. I thought it was more than that.
But it was just that first half, eh?
That was an ugly, ugly, ugly first half, man. I don't know what to say.
It's not our offense. That is absolutely for sure. It's tough to win any football game giving up 44 points.
Pete Carroll, after the game, he's like, I don't know what to comment. That was very uncharacteristically our team. He's like, all around, I don't really know what to say. I don't know. I think every team has games like that. Like, you look at the week in the NFL. The week, and we were talking about this before we jumped on here. The week was so strange. We're looking at, like, teams like KC, one of the best teams in the league, arguably the best team in the league, who squeaked out a victory against a very mediocre Carolina Panthers team. We look at...
The Dolphins beat the Cardinals.
The Cardinals lost to the Dolphins, which is embarrassing. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the only undefeated team in the league who's had some big wins this year. Like, they beat Baltimore last week or the week before, and they squeaked out a win against one of the absolute worst teams in the league, Dallas. Like, they're on their 47th string quarterback.
Yeah, it's bad.
Man, speaking of 47th string, welcome to the Seahawks running back string. What the hell is happening there, man? It seems like anyone that comes in just gets a season-ending injury.
Carson was 50-50 to play last week, and he misses this week. So I don't know what's going on.
I hope Penny comes back soon, man.
Penny, Carlos Hyde. We have so many weapons, but guys are just dropping.
There was one bright spot of the week, which was Carlos Dunlap. He was involved a lot, and it was really cool to see someone who looked like they were somewhat athletic on the defensive line. He looked pretty good. He was involved a lot.
Explosive. He's a big guy, yeah.
Totally. He's a big dude. And
I mean, I think he was a big part of the reason we had so many sacks this game, for sure.
100%. Yeah. So I'm pumped about that. I think Adams' first week back, so hard to assess. I think he was not great in the first half, looked really good in the second half. And overall, they played so much better in the second half, right? What was the score at halftime? 27-10 or something?
Yeah. Do you think Adams is blitzing a bit too much and he needs to drop back and help the coverage in the secondary? Now, I don't know. What do you think?
So the more, like, we haven't seen him in 5 weeks, but
that's true.
What I watched this past week is that he's really good when he's blitzing.
Very good.
And he's mediocre at best when he's in coverage.
So it's worth it for him to just keep on blitzing. The
I
guys
don't
just
know,
need
man.
to figure it out.
The problem is when they're blitzing, they're not getting to the quarterback quick enough to give their DBs a chance. Like, with Shaq out, Quentin Dunbar looked like a hilarious high school kid. Like, he looked terrible.
Oh, that was weird.
I think Diggs is solid, but like Flowers on the other side is really hit and miss. He had a few like really, really good coverage plays, and then he looked like a chump on other plays.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think like a healthy Seahawks defense is a middle of the pack defense. And I think that's the problem. I don't think we're going to get enough pressure on the quarterback to make up for the lack of coverage options that we have currently. And I think Shaq's a big deal. Getting Shaq back, I think sometimes he looks like a chump because our pass rush is so bad. And for anyone to cover one of the best receivers in the league for 9 seconds is impossible.
Impossible.
Like, try guarding DK for 2 seconds, let alone 9, right? It's impossible. So I think that's a big loss that he's been out the last couple of weeks.
I don't know. What do we do?
Honestly, I'm soul searching right now. I'm not 100% sure.
Because on paper, man, like our defense doesn't look that bad. But I mean, that was just a poor performance. Like too many missed coverages, just completely like falling apart. How did Trey Flowers play?
Up and down.
It's just it's too much inconsistency.
Yeah, he's young. He's not a good cover corner yet.
Yeah.
And like the big thing was Dunbar. Dunbar looked atrocious. It's weird because other games he's looked pretty good. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird position to have an off game. Like, really, it's just athleticism, right? Like, It's not like you're shooting threes and your touch is just slightly off one day and you're like 2 for 10 instead of 5 for 10, right? Like,
No, 'cause you're
I
just
don't know.
making reads, yeah.
Maybe is it mental? I'm not sure.
Just checked out a little bit. Oh, but like just that amount? Like that drastic?
Did he get hammered with his buddies the night before and he was just hungover? Like, I don't know.
That's tough.
It was rough.
Yeah. Shaquille Griffin or DB1, there's so many good wide receivers in this league too. Like, you need all these guys back. That was tough. I don't know where we go from here, Mr. Dumas.
Talk about our O-line for a second. Because our O-line has been pretty good this year. Best, and one of the commentators said this week, best O-line, best pass protection the Seahawks have had since 2013, which is the year they won the Super Bowl. Then we look at our stat this week. So Russ threw 41 times. Guess how many knockdowns he had? Don't look. Don't Google this. Guess how many times he got knocked down means he gets pushed over. He's on the ground, on his ass. How many knockdowns out of 41 pass attempts?
5?
16, Carl.
Damn.
He got knocked down 16 times.
Whoa. That's a lot.
That's outrageous. You know what that number is? That's the most this season by any quarterback.
How are you supposed to get anything going when you're just getting smoked?
That's the thing, man. I don't like the Bills. Let's give the Bills a bit of credit. I thought they played a really, really solid game. I thought defensively they threw a lot at us that confused Seattle offensively, and Seattle's offense looked very mediocre compared to that. I think they're one of the top 3 offenses in the league. And then on our defensive side, their offensive side, I thought they just completely dominated the whole game.
Josh Allen looks like the Seahawks defense made him look like a superstar. I mean, the guy's a good player, but to drop 44? I mean,
so many times in the pass rush, like the Hawks would get there. They'd get there and he would just take one step up in the pocket and have an easy throw. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's coverage at that point because like the guys are getting there. Dunlap was, I thought, really effective for his first game in the Seahawks defense. I don't know. I hope there's an answer. I hope they figure it out. Pete was as confused as I am. So I'm hoping that means this is an anomaly. We don't see that again, but that was rough. I don't know. We're going to find out next week. Like, we play the Rams next week.
This game was kind of similar to like the Arizona game, right? Just lots of turnovers, lots of mental mistakes. I mean,
it was a bit different though in that, like, for me, I don't know, watching the whole game, I didn't think we had a chance to win.
From the very beginning.
From the beginning. It just felt weird. Like,
nothing was clicking, yeah.
How easy it was to score for the Bills offense in the first 2 quarters. Like, they scored 3 touchdowns without even trying. It was just like 15-yard pass, 15-yard pass, 12-yard pass, 15-yard pass. It was so easy. And it just, I don't know, it felt super strange the whole game. And offensively for the Seahawks, they just felt like they could never get anything going. Especially in the first half. Like, the first half was hilarious.
We'll see the Seattle special first half.
Someone needs to get fired. I'd like to nominate
Who
Brian
do you nominate?
Schottenheimer.
Yeah. Brian Schottenheimer. Is he number 1?
Is that his name? I don't even know what his name is. It's Schottenheimer. I'm not sure what his first name is. Doctor?
No.
Brian?
So he's getting fired first.
Yeah. Everyone keeps
next?
talking about the D coordinator getting fired, but like, if you don't have any guys playing defense, you can't be a good coordinator, right? Like, if me and you are the top picks at defensive corner, and let's say you're playing linebacker, I'm playing corner, we're not going to win football games, Carl, because we are not elite athletes at that level.
No way.
We don't have elite athletes. Quentin Dunbar showed this week that he is not a good football player. I hope he proves me wrong, but he was not good.
He's not good. Did Seahawks need to find another DB now?
How? Trade deadline's over, bro. What are we gonna do?
Free agents, baby.
Fuck. Jesus. Is
How
that what we're
far are you gonna
relying on?
reach?
Holy shit. One bite, everyone knows the rules. Trade deadline's over, bro. Fuck.
So what's the injury timeline with Shaquille Griffin's injury?
I don't think
know?
it was very serious. He's gonna be back in a week or two. Like he was a
just
maybe
day-to-day.
for this week, so he'll be back soon. I don't know, man. I still feel like offensively we're not utilizing the weapons. You know what? It's funny because like all the commentators and everyone on social media says, "Oh, the Seahawks have completely switched their game plan around. Pete Carroll needs to win Coach of the Year." And then I'm sitting there actually watching every play of every single game, thinking we are so underperforming. Mm-hmm. They're so good.
Yeah. Offensively, no, I agree.
34
Like you said,
points sounds sweet, right? We're averaging
Yeah.
34 points a game. Sounds cool, right? Sounds nice. We can throw big numbers around. Our offense is way better than that. No one should stop our offense. It makes no fucking sense why we turn the ball over.
The
It's too good.
turnovers kill us. No, those should not happen ever. It's just going to have to be one of those games, another reflective game, right? I mean, the week after the Cardinals lost, we came back and we played almost a perfect game. So, I mean, we can hope for that again. But, I mean, the inconsistency, right? That's the thing that kills us.
One thing I like in weeks like this where it's very difficult to be optimistic, I think about teams like, as much as I hate the New England Patriots and they're losing to the New York Jets right now. Well, as I'm talking, the Patriots score a touchdown oh no, they're out on the 2. So close. I'm thinking about the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. And how many Super Bowls did they win? 6? How many perfect seasons did they have?
0.
None. So that means they had faults along the way, right? They had learning experiences along the way. And I think as long as the poor efforts like this week are taken the right way, it could be a really beneficial thing for the team.
Especially
It's just hard to say
losing,
how they're going to take it, right?
But you said the Bills' offense was the top 3 in your books?
I think the Seahawks offense is top 3. I think the Bills offense looked like fucking Megatron super team of all time this weekend. Do I think they're actually that good? No.
The Seahawks just made them look way better than they actually are.
Everyone knows. Everyone's been talking about it the whole year. The defense on the Seahawks is subpar, right?
Yeah.
Look at the stats. They showed the stats on the weekend. We have given up more yards in the first 8 games than any team ever. Ever.
Jesus.
And also the most pass yards ever. I think it was pass yards. It was one of those two.
Pass yards. Oh my God.
Ever through 8 weeks.
In the history of the NFL.
7 weeks because it was going into this game. So it was 7 weeks because we were 6-1. But it's only going to go up. What did he had 415. Josh Allen had 415.
Yeah. Throwing
And I
yards.
think we were averaging giving up about 380.
So it's, right on pace.
That's the problem.
Lots of quarterbacks have huge games against us.
I don't know how you fix it, honestly. Honestly, and I think you're not going to like this answer, but I think it's blitzing more. I think we have to get pressure on the quarterback to make them make mistakes. Because sitting back in a zone and rushing 4 is not the personnel that we have that are going to make plays like that.
Quarterbacks just pick us apart.
They're too good, man. There's a reason that quarterbacks get paid so much money. Because they run the franchise. Like, look at the Jets right now. They drafted some young guy. He's not playing that well.
Darnold.
And who'd they put in? Joe Flacco. And they're 0-8.
0-8. Is it tied up now?
I'm not watching anymore. It's on there. I don't know. It's on a commercial. Who knows? I'm upset, Carl. I'm upset.
Next week will be better.
Oh, like one positive of the week. 2 positives of the week. I think DK is better than we think he is. Yes, that's a statement. I heard one of the NFL commentators during the game call him the best NFL wide receiver in the league right now.
Really?
What do you think about
big
that?
Praise. I think those are big words. I think physically he's there, but I think mentally, I think guys are still. There's a couple of wide receivers in the league that I think are better than him.
Who?
DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones is up there.
Do you think Julio Jones is on the way down though?
He is on his way down.
He's older.
But it's not due to it's just injuries and stuff, and he is slowing down a little bit. But I think if DK Metcalf had the mentality of Julio Jones, he would be the greatest wide receiver of all time. Like that work ethic and that whatever, Hopefully he goes on the right path and he keeps getting better though. But those are big statements by that guy.
How important? Okay, we're moving on from that topic because it's hard to predict at this point in his career. He's 1.5 years in. Who knows? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Newborn. Oh yeah.
How important is being able to kick an onside kick?
It's huge. It just gives you an opportunity to win the game. I mean, it's so big to get the ball back like that. And
because what we found out this week. Yeah, go ahead.
I say to the teams that kind of are able to do it consistently, I think sneak a few more wins than they should every here and there.
Mm-hmm. So what we found out this week is that Michael Dixon has 9 different punts, right? We've talked about this multiple times. He has 9 different punts for where he is on the field. One kick he does not have is an onside kick. He kicked 2 at the end of the game, and they were both atrocious. Did you see them? One of them went about 3.5 yards and then went out of bounds. And the other one went 27 yards and was just fair caught by a receiver.
Why is he kicking? Why isn't Myers kicking them?
Who knows, man? Probably Dixon, in his Australian accent. He's like, put some shrimp on the barbie, let me go out there. I'm going to fucking give it a whirl,
Oi, watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it a go.
He's charming, man. What are you going to do? He's charming.
How many times a week do you think they practice that, or how often?
Well, they should fucking practice it more this week, that's for sure. Looks so bad, man.
It's such an important thing to have.
2 terrible kicks. Like how much we played STM, high school football, and we practiced it a few times a week.
Yeah.
And we got pretty damn good at it, to be honest.
Better than those attempts, yeah. I would say so.
Man. Anyway.
Rams next week?
Patriots have tied it up. Fuck them.
That's a tough game to watch.
It was a weird week. Falcons beat the Broncos.
Yes.
What else is a weird game? The Texans. I guess they both suck. The Jags suck too.
Is Tua
Panthers almost
real?
beat the Chiefs. Well, he had a better game this week. Last week he didn't look very good, but the Bears-Titans was closer than I thought because I don't think the Bears are that good.
That game was weird too.
Minnesota Vikings are coming out of nowhere and could be a playoff threat, Carl.
Dude, Dalvin Cook is putting that entire team on his back and is running with it. That guy can play ball.
The Raiders are 5-3. What do you think of them? I
don't know. That game was was so weird too because it ended on a call, right?
Yeah.
The guy caught it, but then he dropped it on his way down. That was a weird game. I don't know. I don't really like the Raiders. I know the running back, Josh Jacobs, is pretty good. Their quarterback, what's his name again? He's been there for so many years, but I think they're still a middle of the pack team. What's his name?
I forget his name. Who knows? Raiders. We're going to find it. I'm going to find it before you. Derek Carr.
Fuck.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions here. Mm-hmm. Dolphins, Cardinals, both 5-3. Who's better?
Cardinals by far, not even close. I actually like the Cardinals.
And they just lost. Yeah. They just lost to the Dolphins.
I think that was a fluke game. I don't think they lose again to them. I like the Cardinals.
Are the Steelers as good as their 8-0 record? Go.
Oh, fuck, that's tough. I think the Steelers defense is fucking really, really, really helping the offense right now. I don't think the Steelers have as many weapons as some of these other teams that we see on offense, and it all depends on Ben Roethlisberger's health. I don't think 8-0? I don't think so. Like, I don't know. It's a surprise to me.
This is a game we haven't talked about yet. The Saints Bucks.
That was tough to watch. I had to turn it off at halftime because Tom Brady was crying on the bench. And,
Dude, what happened there? I didn't watch the game last night, but I don't know if I've ever been as happy as I was last night looking at the score app and seeing that the Bucks were down 28-0 at halftime.
The Bucks went
31-0. Sorry,
31. A big field goal at the end. I've never seen so many 4 or 3-and-outs in a row. I think they had 12. And
12.
There would be plays where they're like on 3rd and 4, and then Brady just bombs it 30 yards down to no one, and there's no receiver there. Like the stuff, it was so weird. It was a weird game. This week was weird.
So, because both the Bucks and the Saints have had some haters out there this year saying their record's better than they are. The Saints right now are 6-2. The Bucks are 6-3. Who is more of a Super Bowl contender?
Oh man, I think the Bucks defense is a little bit better than the Saints.
Agree.
They both have so many weapons. It just depends on what team clicks. Alvin Kamara's playing out of his mind. Thomas is just coming back from injury, and then Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's coming back from injury too for the Bucks. They both have weapons on offense. I think. I don't know. Well, after what we saw yesterday, it's so hard to tell because we don't really know what the fuck happened.
Totally.
It was such a mental lapse. I don't think we see that many more times. I think I'll give the offensive edge to the Bucks by a little bit.
We're halfway through the season now, Carl.
Yeah.
I want to hear and the AFC might be a bit easy, but best team in the AFC after half the season.
Oh, Denny.
Because really, it's the conversation really to me at this point is the Chiefs or the Steelers. I don't think Baltimore's as good. I think they're close. I don't think Tennessee's as good. And I don't know if anyone else is even in the conversation, to be honest. But
Bills?
I don't know.
Do you think the Bills are better or worse than Tennessee?
I think if it was a head-to-head matchup next week, I think I would pick the Titans by 3.
It's close though, right?
Very close.
I don't know. Like you asked me earlier, are Steelers really an 8-0 team? I think that the Chiefs are number 1 for me right now.
Agree. I think so too.
The Steelers' defense is fantastic, but their offense is nowhere near any one of these 3 teams that we're talking about right now.
Totally. And then the NFC is a different picture though, because there's so many teams that are so close that no one has like stepped ahead of the others, right? Like I think the Seahawks this week was a fairly large step backwards. I think the Cardinals, who let's say they had a convincing win this week, and then they were 6-2, they would probably be in the conversation, but they're not because they lost to the Dolphins. And then like the Bucks, if the Bucks beat the Saints, they would have been 7-2.
You're right, yeah.
And they could have been like the top team in the NFC. The Saints now are 6-2, and they hammered the Bucks. Are they the top team in the NFC? Green Bay is 6-2, I think.
6-2. Yep.
Green Bay pounded the 49ers, which so did the Seahawks last week. They're 6-2. Like, there's a lot of teams in the conversation in the NFC, whereas the AFC is like 2 or 3.
I think for me, there's 5 teams in the NFC that just need a couple things to click consistently, and I think they can pull away. I like Arizona. I don't know. They're getting their running back Drake back next week. I think Kyler Murray's fun to watch. He's putting up sick numbers. You got DeAndre Hopkins. They have weapons. Seahawks for sure. Packers are up there. They got weapons too. Depends on how their defense plays. And the Saints and the Bucks. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's a lot tighter than the AFC.
What about the Rams? Sure. Do you think the Rams aren't as good as the Cardinals?
I don't think so. I think Goff is not as on the same level as the quarterbacks on some of these other teams. And he's been kind of on a downward trajectory for the last couple of years. They don't really have a running back. Yeah, their defense is fantastic, but I mean, I think offensively, it's not there.
What do you think about the Cowboys? They almost beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this week.
Cowboys can fuck off, and if they don't show another game for the rest of the season, I'll be okay. I'll be fine with that.
Do you think the Seahawks are in trouble?
No, I don't think so. Oh, like I said, on paper, defensively, they don't look that bad. It's just these fucking, I don't know what it is, but complete misplays that just lead to touchdown after touchdown. I think, like our linebackers are so good. Like our D-line, 7 sacks is nothing to, It's just our DBs, our secondary, you just need to figure it out.
When you look at the best defensive teams in the league, though, what is the deciding factor? It's pass rush, right?
Pass rush.
It's having 1 or 2 guys on the D-line that get to the quarterback every second play, right?
And it's those 1 or 2 guys that everyone's talking about the entire game. Yeah, you're correct.
Like Aaron Donald, like those types of humans, right?
Khalil Mack, yeah. Monsters.
That's what
you're looking for. But Aaron Donald will change a game completely by himself.
Totally.
Many times he's been,
like, what's the problem with, like, let's look at the Seahawks this week. They had 7 sacks out of, I'm going to take ESPN's stat correct, even though it seemed like they passed way more than this. But they say Josh Allen had 38 pass attempts. So 7 sacks out of 38 plus 7, 45 dropbacks. That's pretty good. That's 1 in 6 is a sack. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So what's the problem?
I think this week is just
I feel like secondary is based on how much time the receivers have to run routes.
Yeah,
if you're a shitty corner, you can cover someone for 3 seconds. If you're a really good corner, you can't cover someone for 9 seconds.
No,
it's impossible.
Never.
How are you going to cover the best athlete in the world for 9 seconds?
You can't. It's impossible.
So that's what I don't know if the problem is the secondary. I think the problem is like consistent pass rush.
We need more sacks.
We need more pressure, quicker pressure. I believe in them.
I do too. I hope this is another wake-up game like the Cardinals game, and I hope we show up next week and just dominate. That'd be awesome. I'm not really afraid of the Rams for some reason.
Good news is no one's ever gone 19-0. So I'm okay with the loss. Close. It is what it is. We're moving on. Yeah. All right. Rams next week. What do we got?
We have an incredible defense. So once again, we'll see how our offense shows up against a good D in all categories.
The problem has never been the offense, though, right? Like
never. No.
So I would say offensively, I had an atrocious football game. Like if I was to rank them out of 10, I would say 2 out of 10. And we scored 34 points when we played awful. Right? We turned the ball over 4 times, guys. Let's say we take away 2 of those times and we give ourselves 10 points. That's 44 points. That's a ridiculous amount of points in the NFL. So the problem is not the offense. Even though we had a shit game, we still were fine. Like we scored enough points to win a football game. It's just we can't stop anyone.
Yeah. All right. And then their offense stays on the field longer.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about playing good defense. I'm concerned that our defense can hold someone to under 30 points. That's the problem. Because they haven't been able to do it yet.
Nope.
Even though we have 3 outstanding players on defense. It's funny, man. Like, you can just pick apart 1 or 2 weak links. It's crazy. Like, Dunbar was an absolute liability out there. You might as well have just had a pylon. It was some of his coverages were just shocking.
It was really bad. I agree. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Do you think he plays again this year? I guess we don't have a choice.
Like, if I'm the coach, if I'm the D coordinator, I'm giving a young guy a chance, man.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name? Bill? All right, Bill. Let's see what you can do. Go make a fucking play. Quentin sure can't.
Any play. Yeah.
Make a play. Knock a pass down. Tackle someone. Hit him in the face. I don't care. Just do something. Don't give up a 97-yard touchdown. Quentin.
Fucking guy.
I had high hopes for that guy too. That was a rough effort this week. Fuck, the Pats won.
Are you serious? No,
they won by
man.
3. Damn it. Oh well, they're still 3-5 or something. Okay, next week. What's your score prediction?
Oh shit. We have the LA Rams, so I think it's going to be maybe a little bit lower scoring. I'm going to go... Fuck, we break 30 points every single game.
Every game, man. They're averaging... So it's interesting to point out that the Seahawks are averaging the most points on offense in the league. They're averaging over... What? Do you say that's not true?
No, I say that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. They're averaging 34 points a game. I think it's the highest in the NFL.
Denny, I think the Seahawks are going to come out to play next week, and my score is 31-21.
I think they're going to put up points. I think they're going to win 37-31. I don't think for the rest of the year we're going to hold someone under 30. Wait, hold on. A good team. Because after our schedule's super weird. Like the beginning of the year was fairly easy, which we started 5-0. And then we play 5 good teams in a row. Mm-hmm. And then we have 4 garbage games. Like we play Philly, the Jets, the Giants, and like someone else in a row. Just like the worst teams in the NFL. Which is going to be very interesting to see if they can just run the table there.
Hopefully, man.
So we play Philly, Giants, Jets, Washington. So there's 4 games in a row, then Rams and Niners again. But the next 2 would be, I mean, like as a big Seahawks fan, obviously, it'd be really cool to go 2-0 the next 2 and then go into that 4-game stretch at 8-2.
Oh, it's going to be a quick turnaround, eh? Yeah. Fuck, I'm pumped for that Cardinals-Seahawks rematch. It's going to be a good game.
It's a Thursday night game too, so I don't know if that bodes well for the Seahawks, to be totally honest. So many injuries already, banged up, like very, very light in terms of depth chart on defense. I don't know if a 3-day break is really going to bode well for us, but one game at a time, Carl. One game at a time.
Yeah.
Let's win the Rams game.
Okay.
What do you got? You got 31-21?
Give me. I'm going to change it to 31-24. Make it one
if the Seahawks give up 24 points next week, I'm going to throw a fucking celebration.
Dude, the defense is coming out next week. Watch.
Man,
that's my call.
A bold prediction.
Also, I don't like Goff. He's fucked me in fantasy, so he can die.
I say 37-31. Hawks win. Get back in the win column. 7-2, baby. All right, brother.
Cool.
I love you. Although this week was very difficult.
It was. Don't worry, Danny, we'll make it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
What's the quote of the week, Carl?
From what? I don't know.
What's the quote of the week? You know what it is.
I'm sorry, Danny, I'm blanking. Oh, yeah.
Where did you hear that?
Fucking tell me.
Who taught you?
Fucking tell me.
Perfect callback.
All right. Later, guys. We love you. Go Hawks.